guys, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to do a Barani or front half, also known as front 180. But yeah, let's get started with the tutorial. Alright guys, first is prerequisites, and I would recommend to have a round off, a front flip, and a dive roll. You will see why for a dive roll, but I'm actually going to show you a method where you don't need a front flip, and it's actually a really cool and easy method to learn this move. First, I'm going to go over the most obvious method, which is just starting with a regular front flip and then slowly adding twists. So that's a pretty progressive method, but it's very tiring. So the next method is going to be a lot less tiring, and it's actually the way I learned it, so I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so for method 2, I would warm up with dive rolls and round offs. Alright, what you're going to do after is pretty much mix the two skills together, so you're setting like a dive roll, but you're doing a round off. You can just think of it as a punch round off. The dive roll just helps with the correct punch. You guys can do this move slow at first, but I would recommend to, when you do it, just do it fast and do it pretty much as fast as you can, because it's going to hurt your wrist a little if you do it slow. Alright, now with that motion, you can slowly speed up the speed until you're not using your hands, and then you're doing a front half. And then after that, you have a front half. Also guys, with my front half, I use the Russian set. So there's two different sets. There's regular, like this, where you throw your arms like this for a front flip, and then there's Russian front flip, where you throw your arms like this. I like doing it like this, because I feel like I can lift with my front flip up better, because when your arms are behind you, they go straight up. But if your arms are here, they kind of throw down into the ground. So you guys can try that with your front half, but that's just preference. Throwing your arms like that, that's the way I like to do it. Alright, now I'm going to go over tips to improve your Barani and common mistakes. Alright, my biggest tip for the Barani is the set, alright? When you set, you want to block more than a normal front flip, okay? Your feet should be like here, alright? You should almost be falling backwards. So make sure to really block, exaggerate the block, alright? Don't just block a little. When you're running, do this, and put your feet super in front of you. That's going to give you tons of height, and you'll be able to finish the half turn and land super high. So run, put your feet in front, punch, and try to go straight up, arms straight, everything straight up. Also, this one's kind of obvious, but worth mentioning is don't drop your chest to the ground. You can do that round off progression, and you can learn it from that. That's the way I learned it, but after you're done doing that and you're doing it, you have to start lifting your chest. So you want your chest up. If anything, you want your chest going up, not down, so you really have a lot of time in the air. Alright, next is the hip pop in order to make the 180 turn. If you learn this the round off way, that's going to come more naturally, because with the round off you already have turn. If you're learning it with a front flip and slowly adding twist method, it might be harder to get the correct motion in order to turn. But what you want to do is when you're tucked, you want to do this motion, alright? You can practice this motion by doing this. Alright, because that's pretty much the same motion you're going to be doing. Alright, another common mistake that you do not want to do is twist too early, okay? If you twist too early, it might even make it easier, but it won't be a front half. It'll be a weird tunnel flip half, or a side flip but starting forward and then you half. It won't really be a front half. It'll look really weird. If that's what you're going for, or you want to do something else, great, but it's not a front half. As you can see guys, I twisted too early and it turned into more of a reverse Arabian or some strange side flip thing. So you want to make sure you turn when you're exactly upside down. You want to, if you're doing the front flip method when you're adding twist, you only want to start your twist when you're this upside down, all right? When your head's exactly upside down, all right? Again, if you learn it with the round off method, that should not be a problem. Another common mistake, I guess, is doing everything too slow, alright? That you're not popping your hips fast enough, alright? So you might turn at the correct time, but you're doing it too slow, alright? You're doing it like this. Alright, you want to make sure, right when you're upside down, you pop your hips as fast as you can. Alright, next I'm going to go over spotting, where you are looking. The way I do it is I just look at the ground the whole time. It doesn't cut my height for me. I know for some people it does. And when I stare at the ground the whole time, I know I twisted at the correct time. So the way I do it is just spot, keep looking there. And that also makes it less scary because you can put your hands down at any time and just turn it into a weird round off. But I guess another way to spot is as you're coming out of your front flip, you're spotting in front, and then you turn your head like that. That's not the way I do it, but you can do it like that if you want. Also guys, I would not do this move tucked. It doesn't really work tucked, and if you do it tucked, it's gonna look, it might turn into like a weird side flip thingy. Or it might still be on axis, but it's just gonna be harder to turn because if you're grabbing your legs, your hips can't move freely. But if you're not, your hips can like turn and pivot. Alright guys, that's it. As long as you have a solid front flip where you can land about like this, straight up, you should have no problem learning the Barani. If anything, the Barani is probably less scary because you can pretty much see the ground the whole time. It's a very safe move to try, and it's a very fun move once you get it. So I'd recommend for all you guys to go and learn it. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. Please remember to subscribe and like, comment, share, all of that. And other than that, see you in the next video. I'm tired.